Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. We are back in the nature, back in the forest, and I have a special message for you. I want to remind you firstly that everything is aligning for you. You may think like, oh, nothing is working for me, but usually when we think that that everything is working against us is actually the time where everything is forming in our favor, but we need to develop a sense of patience, but also a sense of structure. Am I structuring the life the way that what I do brings a greater sense of fulfillment to me? Am I developing a sense of order in my life so I can do the things that are important to me, so I stop procrastinating on what I want to do and I can let go of what I don't want to do anymore? For that, it's required a great sense of honesty, right? We need to be honest with ourselves. But at the same time, we need to be aware enough to recognize what we don't like about our lives anymore. And we need to think deeply on that. And in alchemy, this process is called mental gymnastics. We recognize what we don't like about our character, our personality, right? What are the errors in our personality? We think deeply on that, so we discover the unhealthy patterns, like or self-destructive patterns that were developed through conditioning we've been through, right? And as we do that work and we think about what we truly don't like about ourselves, not so much about our lives, because we may say, well, I'm lacking this and that, but if we think deeper, we recognize that those things are not present because we are not working on them, because we are not taking care of them. And we're not taking care of them because maybe we're lacking knowledge, maybe we're lacking guidance, maybe we don't know what to focus on. So in any case, we are lacking knowledge. We're lacking the right knowledge, and we are lacking the right knowledge because we are being ignorant, right? We're ignoring something that may be helpful for us. And the reason we are ignoring it is because we don't believe that change is possible. And we only don't believe that change is possible because we've been told that way. You can't change. You've been most probably taught that change is not possible, that you just are that way. And because you believe that, you don't even look up for improvement, for upgrades, for potential transformations. But because life is all about transformation, right? It's all about transformation. Everything is always and constantly changing. If we decide to stay the same, we decide to stop living, right? And when we decide to stop living, we know what happens. We let go of any enthusiasm for life. We let go of any sense of purpose. We let go of any sense of meaning. And when we decide to do that, we start to feel stuck. And when we feel stuck, it's not a pleasant state to be in, right? So at some point we need to decide, well, if I want to experience whatever I decide to experience, I need to develop a sense of vision for my future, right? Because you are a visionary. We're all visionaries, and visionaries on a mission to transform that mental picture into practical steps that can bring that vision into reality. So for me as an artist, I look on that process as same as on making a painting. When you're creating a painting, firstly you have a certain idea, a certain vision for it. And because you have that idea, that vision, you already know what to do. You grab a canvas, you put colors onto it, and you eventually know what to create. Even if you don't have the right skill, you're trying and overdoing it, and sometimes you fail at some structures because you don't know how to mix or how to get the right pigment, how to create a certain style of it that you would like. But eventually you get to the finish line, and in front of you there's a painting that you wanted to create. But once that painting is created, you've noticed that you've learned so much in that process of creating a painting that now you can make more of those kind of paintings. You can make more similar paintings. And that's the process of transformation that is teaching us to build skills, to develop our natural talents that we all have within. So when you think that nothing is aligning, it's not true. Everything is aligning for you based by your present state of being. So if you've decided that nothing inspires you and you've let go of any enthusiasm, your life aligned for you equally to your present state of being. And if you don't like that, it's time to change, right? It's time to upgrade yourself. So how to upgrade ourselves? Well, we are not actually upgrading ourselves, but we are shifting our personality, our understanding of ourselves, the story we are telling to ourselves. And that's what people call the identity shift. We shift our identity based by who we feel that we want to become, right? So you need to ask yourself who you can become, who you can be. And for that, it's not enough just to say a few words. Oh, I want to be rich, I want to be happy. It's not like that. For that, it's required a deep introspection, like how you truly want to live your life. How you truly want to live your life. And think about it. If you can be anything right now, what kind of emotions you want to feel most of the time? What's your mental state you want to be in? Do you want to be sharp? Do you want to be focused? Do you want to have that clear memory? Or you want to be foggy and, all over the place? Do you want to feel fulfilled? Do you want to have a sense of purpose? Or you want to be sad and stuck and overwhelmed by everything? You see, we are already kind of choosing the options, right? We are choosing the options and we're creatively thinking like what would be the most beautiful and fulfilling state to be in order for living my life, right? And you see, for that it's required to have an ability to think creatively. That's what they call a creative transformation. You need to be creative when it comes to developing your vision for the future. So you're tapping now into an identity of a visionary. You're a visionary. What you're doing, you're creating a vision for your life. If you don't have that vision for your life, it means that you will not be able to develop a sense of purpose, a sense of meaning. Because only when we have that vision, we recognize, oh, that's what I'm working for. Why? Because it's important to me. Why it's important to me? Because I want to see those things. I want to create those things. I want to make it happen. Why I want to make it happen? Well, because I just want to. Because I feel called to do. So again, you get to that sense of a calling. You feel called to do so. So to get to that sense of a calling, we need to go deeper into ourselves, right? That's why it's not enough just to say, well, I want to be rich, I want to have those things. We need to go deeper to get a sense of a calling. Once you get that sense of a calling, you will just know that you need to do that, and that is powerful. So when it comes to developing that vision for the future, we firstly need to recognize what we don't like about our lives, right? What we don't like about our personality. So we can slowly upgrade those patterns that are kind of self-destructive. And those are usually the patterns that are supporting unhealthy habits, unhealthy way of thinking. And again, for that, it's required deep thinking. So we notice, for example, how I'm doing it. I am writing down the things I don't like about my personality at this point in my life. So I notice, okay, I don't like, for example, that I'm not true to those values, for example. Because, we've been growing up in a certain environment. And for example, if you don't change anything about your mental picture or your self-image, you may be following the same values as your parents or your caregivers and people around you. But if you decide to say, well, one of my value that I want to develop is discipline, and nobody was disciplined before you, you may notice that every time you decide to take care of it and to build a discipline in your life, it works for a few days and then it loosens up, right? And that's the part of transformation. We need to keep reminding ourselves what are we working on. So when I notice this is what I don't like about my personality, then I write down the solution, what's the potential solution for that, and then I start working on it. And usually I work on it for a month, and then I reflect on how it went, how I was doing, and then I see the growth. I notice the changes. Okay, this is what changed. This is what became easier. This is what is not so aligned with my intention, or here's where I've experienced the major transformation or a breakthrough. So it's a constant reflection on our action, right? And that's why I mentioned the alchemists call that process mental gymnastics. We're truly training our mind to notice our errors and to upgrade them, to heal the patterns. So to anyone who needed to see that today, I hope it can bring you some clarity, because one of the major realizations here is that clarity is not something we just hope for it to appear. It usually appears when we do something about it, right? The universe supports action, right? That's why you see when there's anything you're thinking about requires action. You can't do anything without taking action. So when it comes to clarity, clarity requires action, something that can allow clarity to appear. So journaling is really, really powerful when it comes to a need for clarity. For example, when you are unclear about your life situation, or you don't know why you feel so unsatisfied, you take a piece of paper and you start writing down reasons why you feel so unsatisfied. And what you notice is that you feel something that you can't explain. You feel something that you can't explain. And by trying to explain it, you develop a sense of clarity where you notice, oh, that's what's bothering me. Oh, that's the problem. How could I not notice it before, right? That's why writing is so important. Something we usually don't do. And it's same with our future. You may say, well, I know exactly what I want. But then I ask you what you truly want and you can't answer, right? Because we feel that we know. We have a feeling, and feeling is knowing. But if we can't explain the feeling, it means that it will be much harder than to take any action towards it. So feeling is knowing, but we also need to develop ability to explain what we feel. That's why mental capacity needs to be constantly trained and expanded. We experience life through feeling it, right? But if we can't explain what we feel, it will be hard for us to understand what's happening. So if we don't understand what's happening, we may feel like we are not in control of how we want to experience our lives or how we want our lives to be. But the truth is, we are in control of that. But we firstly need to understand where we are. We need to be able to explain our present situation to ourselves, so then we can change it, right? You only can change what you're aware of, and you're fully aware of something once you're able to explain it. So write things down as precisely as possible, and don't think that thinking about what's bothering you, what you don't like about yourself, is bad. It's not bad, it's good, it's helpful, it's productive, it's transformative. That's where you start developing the capacity for creative transformation. Because you will be able to see, okay, if I don't like the things about my personality, what are the potential solutions? What are the potential solutions? And you start studying whatever subject that can bring you more clarity about potential solutions, right? Maybe you study up psychology, or maybe you find a therapist, or maybe you study whatever you're working on. You know that the best for yourself, whatever you're working on, whatever you want to learn. And that will help you so much on your life's journey, my friends. Never stop believing into yourself and into the ability to change. You're not changing yourself, you're changing your personality. And what Dr. Joe Dispenza says, your personality creates your personal reality, and that's so true. When you change something about your personality, something in your life changes, because you're not feeding the old patterns anymore. You develop new ones, and new cause and effect, new actions bring new results. That's it. My friends, I'm sending you all lots of love, blessings and power. I hope you found something valuable today. Thanks to all of you for supporting my art in my Etsy shop. I draw my passion. You're all truly appreciated. Till next time, one love.